Bill and Jalen's 2013 NBA Preview.
So we do 15 teams, and there's only one topic everybody was talking about. Where are the Milwaukee Bucks? Now we're at 15, and we have finally reached the Milwaukee Bucks, the most controversial team of the Bill and Jalen Preview.
The main thing people don't understand is this is your list. It doesn't matter what I think or you think. This is the list that Bill Simmons and clairvoyant Bill
Nobody can get a
has
hold
come
of
up
you.
with. And instead of being at the Dodgers game, we're here talking about the Milwaukee Bucks at number 15.
Well, let's look at their fan base mindset. Are we back with Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers?
Yes, indeed. Modern generation feel like that's Warren G.
This is their last concert
Thank you
ever.
later.
Oh, that's right. Warren G stole this.
I keep forgetting.
Eat the mic, Mike.
Yeah. You just like him because he wearing a Boston Red Sox beard.
Well, the reason we picked I Keep Forgetting is because people thought we kept forgetting about the Bucks. But we didn't. I think they might be the 15th best team in the league. Hold on, we gotta let Mike do his thing. I'm sorry, Mike.
That's
Look at his
classic
head bobbing.
material.
Yeah!
I know you got soul.
So, why do we keep forgetting about the Bucks? The Eastern Conference is going to be terrible. I think there are many more bad teams in the Eastern Conference. You play your own conference teams more than you play the other conference, so some records are going to get inflated. I think the Bucks have a chance for a 6 or 7 seed. Let's look at what they did last summer. The Bucks were up to stuff. To be fair, I criticized them for being up to stuff. They seem to be making a determined push to get a 6, 7, or 8 seed and win 43 games, which is the single worst place you could be in the NBA. They spent some money on O.J. Mayo. They acquired Caron Butler. I think Caron Butler might have one decent year left. I didn't mind that. Delfino, I liked last year on Houston. Ridenour is an accomplished backup point guard. Gary Neal had big moments in the playoffs. Those guys aren't bad. Look at the 7 guys they added. All those guys are decent.
O.J. Mayo could score for his position. Now playing with that team, he could possibly be an 18-point scorer. Brandon Knight, I saw a lot of him when he played for the Pistons. A real good three-point shooter, shoot around 40% from 3. Still has to show he can run a team like a lot of young point guards.
The big trade they made, they flipped Brandon Jennings, who didn't seem like they were going to sign anyway. Last year they had Brandon Jennings, Monte Ellis, and J.J. Redick, and it didn't work.
Too small.
Too small, and those 3 guys are a bad match together. J.J. Redick likes coming off picks. Jennings likes shooting. Monte Ellis, he doesn't shoot.
And one of those
they got rid of all 3.
And correct. And one of those 3 guys has to play 2.
Yep.
Which means you're guarding Dwayne Wade, J.R. Smith, Paul George. And that's not a good matchup. Kobe Bryant, when those guys come
Monte
to town.
Ellis couldn't guard you. They turned Brandon Jennings into Brandon Knight. I thought Brandon Knight had some moments last year. He tried to block a 7-footer's dunk.
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. The jam! Oh, what a monster jam!
And he got his ass thrown, but it's better than most people. You've never been dunked on because you always duck out of the way.
DeAndre Jordan told him a key thing, get down or lay down. And unfortunately for him, he did both. Anytime you're trending and it says R.I.P. in front of your name.
And you're not dead.
But you're alive, that's what we remember. But I think he's a good young guard. He's a quality young man.
He's a guy, like if you're talking about grabbing somebody from a different team, failed situation, taking a gamble on, I thought he was a good guy.
And we got to mention Larry Sanders. He's shown that he deserves to be, a player not only on the second contract getting, the kind of money he's getting right now, but, he's a good rim protector, and he's going to be a starting big man in this league for a long time.
Let's look at their rotation because Larry Sanders is a big part of that. Zach Lowe has only spelled his name in capital letters for Grantland. So in Zach's honor, we did that here. Caron Butler, I couldn't resist doing the RIP for him. When you look at that 10, those are all NBA players. There's no weak links in that. Even Zaza Pachulia, who I probably just said his name wrong for the 1,000th time, but they overpaid him. They gave him $15 million for 3 years. That's ridiculous.
I got to back you up on something. We misspell names. We get stats wrong. This is the barber shop. When you're at the barber shop, your argument isn't based on facts. Back in the day, you could actually argue in the barber shop and never was a winner.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people Google the stats. Everything was on steroids when you made your argument when you were at a barber shop. So don't be tweeting me about Lake Erie versus Lake Michigan. I don't care. Don't be tweeting me about saying Alec or Alex Burke. We don't care.
I care a little bit.
This is the barbershop. No, you
Jalen, don't let the YouTube commenters get in your head.
You don't
Tune
care.
them out.
You don't
Did you let the
care.
hecklers get in your head at basketball games?
You let them get into your head. I probably said his name wrong for the
Well,
500th time.
I
You said that. And I said,
Did you just do I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe on me?
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
I don't mind this team. And I think, and the reason I picked them 15, which you didn't agree with, I think they're going to spin that Caron Butler contract and something else into a better small forward. I thought Ilyasova, the last 2 months of the season, remember he signed that contract when in a big funk.
Yep.
I thought he turned it around as the season went along. And I like the guys in this team. I think they're going to be sneaky good. Ridenour, Delfino, and Gary Neal are all guys who have played in playoff games. They've played well with big crowds against good teams. Let's see what Zach Lowe says here. He wants to know how their new perimeter will look in April and May, and this is a question of, can you make the playoffs? Can you compete in the playoffs if Brandon Knight and O.J. Mayo are your guards?
I would say yes. AC potential in the Eastern Conference, that's not unrealistic.
0% odds to 100% odds that Brandon Knight makes something of a leap this season.
I say there's 60% odds.
I'm going to say around 50.
I say
I like
60% odds.
Brandon Knight.
I like him a lot, too.
Clairvoyant Bill looks at this Bucks team. He knows they are trying to make a run for a playoff spot, that this is very important to their very old owner who doesn't want to rebuild and go through a rebuilding project. Caron Butler's expiring contract. Ekpe Udoh's expiring contract. They had the pieces to get another big contract back. Rudy Gay. What about Raul Dang on the Chicago Bulls? Now, all of a sudden, I'm a 45-win team with one of those two guys.
I like that, and it's clear what they're trying to do. They haven't addressed the small forward position long-term.
Caron Butler's not the long-term answer.
Not at all. So I like the theory of trying to add a small forward. If it's going to be one of those two, it has to be Luol Deng because he plays defense, and also he's a contributor on offense. Rudy Gay and O.J. Mayo, they tried that in Memphis. I don't think that really works.
Good point. All right, Kirk Goldsberry from Grantland. Wow, I bet you weren't expecting this. It's a Luke Ridenour shot chart.
You could pick another player to do this. Luke Ridenour does't even have this information.
We were getting a lot of feedback about not avoiding white players completely. So we responded with Luke Ridenour. Look at that, though. This is why Kirk picked him. Phenomenal mid-range shooter. Reminds me of myself, Jalen. This is what my shot chart would look like.
That's a key when you're a guard, especially a right-handed penetrator. When he gets to that right side, he's effective.
I dated a waitress in 1996 who was right-hand dominant.
Don't get divorced, Bill. 56%, that's on fire. And that's very surprising for what's considered a below-average guard, a backup guard in today's NBA.
Now, you look at that bench again. Most teams have a lousy bench. Most teams go 6 deep, 7 deep, maybe 8 deep. That's a bench that could come in and actually swing games a little bit. Henson and Zaza could block shots, protect the rim a little. Delfino makes threes. Ridenour can run the point. And we've seen Gary Neal, like...
He's a heat check.
Yeah, he's a heat check guy.
He sure
is. I like
is.
their bench. I like the Bucks. I'm riding with the Bucks.
And you like Gary Neal because he's an irrational confidence kind of guy.
We love them. Remember,
Yes,
we watched him swing a finals game. We're sitting in the second. Uh-oh, heat check. Let's see what the triangle says here. Yet another reason to love this Bucks team. Because all hail the Greek freak.
Not just need it.
So
You're gonna need it.
He has
the freak with me.
He has more letters in his name than anyone in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
I made that up. I don't know that for sure. It's a very hard name to say. And fortunately, there's a YouTube clip that explains how to say it.
Hi, Milwaukee. I'm Giannis Adetokunbo. Can you say my name?
Giannis Adetokunbo.
Get down with yourself, Giannis. Get those girls' numbers.
I'm pretty sure he did, Bill.
I hope they were in a Greek sandwich later.
Giannis Adetokunbo.
Oh, he got it.
Hopefully it get easier. Go, Bucks, go.
Likable kid, right? But can he play? Let's see some preseason highlights just for the hell of it.
There you go.
Uh-oh. I'm feeling a follow-up dunk, Jalen. Oh!
Okay.
Giannis sneaks in the back door. Oh. Oh, look at the long arms, Jalen.
No box out on the weak side.
Come on. Well, let's see what he does on the defensive end. Anything? Can I get a weak side block, maybe?
Transition action.
Get that out of here, Giannis! Oh!
If you can tell me who shot he blocked, I'll be very impressed.
He said, ah! I'm in on Giannis. The Bucks are climbing. Zach Lowe and I are going to do these league pass rankings as a column for Grantland on Friday. ranking all the teams based on will they suck you in if you're flipping channels. If the Greek kid's in, I'm stopping on the Bucks. I want to get my Greek kid on. Here's the fear if you're a Milwaukee fan. There's been a little buzz about them moving to Seattle, possibly. You have the Seattle cajillionaire who wanted the Kings.
Seattle deserves a team.
Seattle deserves a team.
But so does Milwaukee.
Let's look at some Sonics highlights just for the hell of it. It's probably the most famous play in the history of the Sonics franchise. Right
I know what's coming. You can't
Look
stop
out,
the
mister.
rain. When it starts to fall, there's no one left to blame. You can't stop the rain.
I think the Seattle-Milwaukee thing is going to become a theme this year, and I think Milwaukee is going to have to figure out what to do with that arena, because you cannot have an old arena that doesn't have the great suites, all that stuff. You're either all in or you're not. Milwaukee's a small market. Either they build this arena, or I think they're going to move.
And also, to Bucks fans, they're going to feel like you didn't pay justice to our great history.
Yeah.
Lou Alcindor.
Title.
Big O. Oscar
71
Robertson.
title. Here's why it would be tough to leave Milwaukee. Because
Laverne and Shirley.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassenvamp Incorporated.
One of the things they used to do on that show was mix Pepsi and milk, where my mom used to drink that when I was growing up. I remember going to the store buying
Pepsi
a lot of
and milk?
Pepsis. Just indeed.
Together?
Yes.
What? Pepsi with milk?
Yes.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Google it.
What does it taste like?
Give the people what they want.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like a ghetto root beer float.
That's what they should call it. Get a root beer float. Let's hear how Alice Cooper thinks you should say the word Milwaukee, because I think this is really important.
Isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
I was not aware of that.
So it's Milwaukee.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, you were not aware of that either.
I was not.
All right, well, it's time to give the people what they want.
Gotta give them what they need.
Hey! We got props! We got props!
When you're in Milwaukee, you're central to Chicago.
You all right?
You're near Indiana.
You're near Garrett's Popcorn.
And you're near Detroit. All places that I either lived or played.
Oh.
So when I'm in Milwaukee, you get a good night's sleep, you order some room service, you get some rest before the game, and you import via car service.
Oh.
That's how you get the people what they want.
So you have 3 major cities within 2 hours of where you are.
Yes.
Makes it very easy to import.
And the reason why people are going to say, well, it's a short flight. It's winter time during the NBA season.
Flights can get canceled.
You don't want any delays or issues.
You don't want weather delays. Limo, just straight shot. What's the lobster situation in Milwaukee?
I'm not sure.
24-second shot clock time. Go, Milwaukee Bucks, 24 seconds.
I think they can potentially contend for an 8th seed, no higher. The Caron Butler trade is going to be a catalyst to the rest of their season and probably to their future to get a
good catalyst.
Small forward. But I like their young backcourt, and I like Larry Sanders.
I think the Bucks are going to be a 7th seed with a chance to be a 6th seed if the Knicks totally self-combust. I don't think they can get past Detroit.
They're not going to be in the Knicks conversation.
As I said, if the Knicks totally self-combust, I think they can hop over them and get to like 43 to 44, 45 wins. But it would have to be one of the most dramatic meltdowns. Not inconceivable. So that's it for
Milltown.
Milwaukee.
You could call it Milltown. They like
Just remember, I had your back, Milwaukee. 15.
Shamil, Shemazel,
15. Somebody believes in you, Milwaukee.